Monster Melee! Giant Ape versus Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Ladies and gentlemen, boggles and ghouls, welcome to Monster Melee. I am your game master and commentator, Esper. This is a series in which D&D monsters clash against one another in intense battles. And for today's showdown, we have the giant ape versus the Tyrannosaurus Rex, a battle that I've been wanting to do for a while now, so I'm pretty excited about it. In this matchup, I will be using the 2024 versions of these two monsters. I don't always do that. It depends. I think it's kind of hit and miss. But in this particular case, I think the new Monster Manuals, Giant Ape and T-Rex, are just slightly better. They're not incredibly different, but a little bit different. For today's battle arena, we have this really cool jungle clearing map. I want to say a big thank you and give a shout out to the Dungeon Archive who produced this and has put it online for free. So thank you very much. I found it and thought it'd be a cool place to hold this battle. And before we jump into things, I do have a quick announcement. I'm very happy to say that Gauntlet Runner is on Kickstarter. This is my upcoming 5e D&D book, and make sure you go check it out. Gauntlet Runner is a 5e campaign of hardcore dungeon trials. You play as a contender taking part in the great games of Bazagon, City of Mazes. If you can survive these deadly gauntlets, you will rise to glory. There will be options for hardcover, PDF, and VTT module. Gauntlet Runner includes master-crafted dynamic dungeons, player options with swords and sorcery, grit, unforgettable, stylish boss monsters, high challenge, high intensity, and a Mythic Doom campaign setting. Check out the link down below to follow the Kickstarter. I look forward to seeing you there. Looking at today's contenders in the matchup, we have the Giant Ape. It is a huge beast, unaligned, a challenge rating of 7, armor class 12, hit points of 168, speed of 40 feet on the ground and 40 feet climbing. In terms of strength, the Giant Ape does have high hit points, pretty mobile with the ground speed and the climbing speed, very strong in melee, has a boulder toss where it throws a boulder, presuming it has access to boulders, and it smashes in like a 5-foot radius, and the creatures in the radius make a dexterity saving throw, 7d6 damage on a failure, half damage on a success. Also has a bonus action leap. The Giant Ape spends 10 feet of movement to accomplish 30 feet of a jump. There definitely are some weaknesses with the Giant Ape. Has a low armor class, has just kind of animal limitations, low kind of mental ability scores and saving throws. Also isn't quite so effective against huge creatures because the boulder does not knock them prone, so it won't be knocking the T-Rex prone with the boulder toss. And looking at the Tyrannosaurus Rex now, also a huge beast, unaligned. The challenge rating in this case is 1 higher with a CR 8. Armor class is 13, so 1 higher armor class. The hit points are lower though, 136. The ground speed is 50 feet, though of course can't climb. The main strength of the Tyrannosaurus is that it's very strong in melee. It does more damage than the Giant Ape does. It does have a restraining grapple when it bites onto a large size or smaller creature, so that isn't going to happen with the Giant Ape because it's huge size, but the T-Rex's tail can knock the Giant Ape prone. Some similar weaknesses here, a low armor class, just animalistic intelligence and tactics. Also, another major weakness with the T-Rex is that it has no ranged offense. So I think this will be somewhat of a simpler fight, though a really cool one. Very much looking forward to this. I could see either of them winning. It could come down to who wins initiative. If the Giant Ape goes first and can like hit with a boulder at a range and then maybe jump up onto a cliff, would it have that sort of tactic? Maybe so. I think it would at least have that much of a tactic. So that, I don't know if I'd call these cliffs, but these sort of escarpments here, those are going to be at 20 feet higher. So there is some mobility and ranged options that the Giant Ape could take advantage of that would potentially give it an edge over the T-Rex. But if the T-Rex gets in there and just starts chomping on it and tail slapping, it does a lot of damage. So it could potentially win as well. So here we are. The Tyrannosaurus is prowling and scavenging and hunting in this jungle, and it has come upon the Giant Ape's territory, and the giant ape is not having it and begins thumping its chest and displaying its intimidating display, but the Tyrannosaurus Rex is not having that, and it roars and is going to go stomping in there. So let's roll the initiative and begin combat. Oh my gosh, do we have a tie? On initiative we do, and the tiebreaker goes to the giant ape. It will start off by throwing the boulder. It hurls the large stone that crashes over there with the T-Rex. 23 damage, or half on a successful save. T-Rex, as you can imagine, doesn't really have any dexterity modifier to speak of, though it rolls a natural 20, takes half damage for 11, and then the giant ape is going to climb and get itself swung up here on the escarpment. It howls, grabs up another rock, and the T-Rex is going to go after it. The T-Rex stomps over there and is roaring and wants to snap at the giant ape, and the ape drops down another boulder onto the dinosaur, which will be making its dexterity saving throw. Again, not too good at these. This time it is a failure. Tyrannosaurus takes 26, and the giant ape is, what is it going to do? Maybe back up from the edge of the escarpment. That will provoke from the Tyrannosaurus Rex. That big thing just snaps out with its jaws, very tall, so it could get to it. I will say that the giant ape has half cover from the terrain. Still, it's going to be very easy to hit. Just needs to get a nat 4 or higher. Okay, nat 19. The Tyrannosaurus does manage to bite the giant ape, does a pretty respectable 27 damage, though cannot quite pull off the bite grapple due to the giant ape just being so big. And then the giant ape will back up over here and probably scrounge up another rock. And we go to the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Could it get up there? I don't think it can. And so it's going to be chasing from around this way, crashing through the underbrush. And we go to the giant ape, which will be meeting it with another boulder toss. I'd say there's plentiful large rocks out here. Makes sense to me. Okay, 34 is going to be the full damage, and that's a failed dex save. So a total of 34 to the Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's not quite bloodied. Oh, it is bloodied, actually. Okay, that takes it right into bloodied. It's in the orange now. So the giant ape will roar and meet the Tyrannosaurus Rex face to face, toe to toe. All right, the T-Rex comes in, and this is going to be its tail attack. Ooh, that is a critical hit. This is going to be a massive 8d8 plus 7 damage. It'd be even more if it was the bite critting. There is 36 bludgeoning damage, wham, right to the giant ape, and it is knocked prone. That is going to give the T-Rex advantage on its bite attack now. Coming in, trying to rip the giant ape to pieces. That is going to be a hit. And the bite is going to deal not the greatest damage roll there, 23 damage to the giant ape. It will get up to its feet. It's bloodied now, and commence with a double melee attack. It makes 2 fist attacks. That is 2 hits. Even with that second roll being low, the T-Rex's AC just isn't good. You think it would be a little bit higher. You think it would have some nice natural armor, but nope, it's not quite enough. All right, there's 37 damage, and pretty devastating blow to the T-Rex. It's down into the red. I think just one more strong hit, or maybe 2 moderate hits from the giant ape are going to take it out. And I think the T-Rex is going to have a hard time taking out the giant ape here in just one turn. Maybe if it could get another critical hit, it might be able to do it. Let's see what it can pull off. The Tyrannosaurus Rex swings its mighty tail. It crashes into the giant ape, knocking it prone and dealing 21 damage to it. It is knocked prone, and the jaws of the T-Rex come in and hit once again. Though I think this is going to be difficult to take out the ape with just this one bite. 35. That leaves the giant ape with 20 hit points. These 2 creatures are badly wounded. I don't know if in reality a Tyrannosaurus Rex would have been running away in this case. Maybe so. Maybe it has like a self-preservation or some fear that would take over, or maybe it doesn't see that there's really any way to escape, and it's aggravated and hurt and enraged, and it's just going to keep going, trying to, desperately kill this giant ape. In any case, this is monster melee, so they're not backing down. They're going to slug this out. The giant ape is going to make its 2 fist attacks. I think I'll just roll 2d20. It's going to be easier that way, and it just needs to get like a 4 or higher. Okay, here we go. 2 Melee attacks, they are both higher than a 4, and the giant ape surely is going to be taking down the T-Rex here. The powerful and massive fists of the giant ape crash against the T-Rex, batter it, rip at it, and just tear it open, and it rends the T-Rex wide open. Flesh and gore begin to exude, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex crashes to the jungle floor, and the giant ape, bloody, wounded, at a desperate fight for its life, roars out its victory call. Well done, giant ape. I really think that could have gone either way. I think if the T-Rex would have won initiative, it probably would have won that fight, but that's okay. This was a brutal spectacle, and I enjoyed it a lot. Thanks everybody for watching. I do want to say an extra special thank you to everyone who supports me over on Patreon. You guys really make a big difference and allow me to do these crazy sorts of experiments and projects like Monster Melee and a lot of the other types of videos that I do here on the channel. Everybody go check out Gauntlet Runner. The link is down below and also on the end screen. Show some love, show some support. I look forward to seeing you there. Until we meet again, may your adventures be many.